Welcome back to Grassroots Media. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Sand Meat Market Jacob Willett Show, where we cover everything on the diamond with the Chucky Doak Black Knights baseball team. As always, I'm joined here with Black Knights head coach Jacob Willett. Coach, how are we doing this afternoon?
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Winding down to the end of the school year now. I know testing's finally over. Are you able to kind of settle in a little bit this time of the year?
Not really, because to be honest, our season ended, Sunday. Monday rolls around and we're trying to get a schedule put together for next year. So right now I've been super busy still trying to get a schedule put out for the 2024-2025 season, put together some camps, put together some workout stuff for our guys for the summer. So it's been a busy time for me right now. A lot of scheduling stuff going on right now for me on my end. So it never really stops, which is fine with me, because if you do it the right way, it's a full year-round job anyway. So right now we're just rolling over and preparing for what's to come, really.
I kind of want to get into that first before we get into the tournament a little bit. You talk about your season ending, and then you roll right back around trying to schedule for next year too. I know you always got to keep up with field maintenance. You've got off-season workouts too. You do tryouts. You do this and you do that. Take us through what your first year has been like and how it's been nonstop. And is it what you expected going into it?
It's a lot. It is. It's a never-ending job, but at the same time, I love to do it. It's been great. Obviously, not the results we wanted to end the season, but I think our program's in a much better place today than it was 200, 300 days ago when I took over here. So I think we're in a pretty good spot now. We've got the baseline set this year. This is as low as we want to finish, that's for sure, for as long as I'm here. Our future looks bright, which is good, but we can touch it on the future of our program, after we cover how our season ends. Let's do it that way.
All right, that's cool. Let's talk about the tournament a little bit, too. I know you go in, you had that matchup with West Green here at home that you ended up dropping, I think, on Thursday the last time we talked. Ended up beating Happy Valley that next day on Friday. Things got pushed back on Saturday, and then you come into Sunday with another game against West Green. Unfortunately, that ended your season with a loss to the Buffaloes. Take me through your District 1 2A tournament this year and how everything went for you.
Well, we 2 of our 3 games in the tournament was probably against the best team, I think, in the area right now. A hot team. It's playing really good baseball. It's just the luck of the draw, really.
Yeah.
They got hot at the right time. I think if you look at the talent on the field, we might have been a little outmatched. But our guys played really well. I think for the tournament they played well. Happy Valley, we won that game. We played extremely well. Defensively, we made a couple of mistakes in the Happy Valley game, but other than that, we played well the whole tournament. Even looking back to Thursday's game, we give up some runs, but we didn't play bad baseball. We were in the game. They hit the ball better than we did. And then you turn around on Sunday, got the same team again, and we come out. We had a 1-run lead, it seems like, the entire game. And we got the first out in the 7th, 2 outs away from advancing. And those guys, they weren't ready to be done. West Green wasn't. And they put some hits together on us. It's baseball. Usually you don't win a game 1-0, so we expected them to score some runs. They did in the 7th. A little heartbreaking the way we lost, but I felt like we competed well. We're super young, We got a load of sophomore that played all year for us. We got a couple junior that'll stay with us next year, and we lose a couple seniors. So we're really young. Next year we're moving in. We got a little more experience. That's a bright thing, but I think the fight we showed. We give up 3 in the 7th. In our elimination game, we give up 3 in the 7th with a 1-0 lead. We respond back by putting together a leadoff double. Then we have a line out, and I think we had a fly out, and then another double or a single to score a run. So we've cut it to 3-2, which brought our best hitter for the year up to the plate with 2 outs, and we just didn't get it done. It's unfortunate. But I like the way our guys competed and responded and carried themselves. I think the growth that we showed throughout the year was phenomenal, and I'm proud of our guys for that, especially the seniors that are moving on to the next chapter of their life. I think we instilled some really good foundation for their future. So now they go into the workplace or college or wherever they decide to go or whatever they decide to do, we've instilled some pretty good values into them, and they've grown a lot, and they've matured a lot, and they've carried themselves much better. So I think in that aspect, we've prepared our guys for the next level of their life, which is really encouraging, and it's really promising. I mean, it's fulfilling on my end to see the growth that these guys have had. So we might have not got the on-the-field results that we've wanted, but I think what we've done off the field may be better for these guys than what we could ever did on the field, which is encouraging. So hopefully we win a little more games next year. We didn't have a bad year. We beat some good teams. We lost to some teams we should have beat, and that's how it went. But when you look at the West Green game, I just felt like we were outmatched, really. And we played well. We played well enough to win the game. They had more experience. They just had more guys with more experience and more guys that were competing at a high level at the time. And then you look at what they did to South Green. I mean, it shows. They've got some guys that can play some ball. So I thought all year West Green was probably the best team we saw within our conference and really within our region. I thought they're as good, if not better, than Pigeon Forge, who we saw. So that'll be an interesting series there. I think the region will be really exciting to watch. Unfortunately, we don't get to partake in it, but our county schools, I think they can compete. Our district was really good this year. So hopefully we get ready to go for next year.
I guess if there's one thing you can lead to as a positive, you did lose to the tournament champions. I guess that's one thing you can always kind of look back on, like, look, we lost to the tournament champions in the end. And whenever you had the run differential that you had in the tournament too, not many times is it that you end up losing it, scoring 25 and then allowing 21, but you had that huge outlier in that Happy Valley game. To get that last win, how big was it to get that last win, to have such a huge offensive output? I know you had a home run that I saw from Christian Darian. To score 19 runs, you had to have a total team effort. So how great was it to have one last win from those senior boys in an elimination game like that against Happy Valley?
We executed our offense, and that's what happens when we execute our offense. It's not that we beat the ball around the field. We only had a couple hits, but we also probably dropped down 14 bunts. So that's tough to defend against.
Always.
So, right. And we execute slashes, we execute bunt runs, we execute, we went Butcher Boy special, bunt and run, hit and run. I mean, we just executed our offense in that game. And when you execute your offensive playbook like we did there, there's not a whole lot of games you're going to lose because you're putting up a ton of runs. Unfortunately, there was some situations in that West Green game, the second West Green game, where we had opportunities to execute our offense and our playbook, and we didn't do that. And now you see us scoring 1 run versus us scoring 19 runs. We execute our playbook probably 15, 16 times in the prior game, and then maybe once or twice in the West Green game, you see the difference in run output. And their pitcher did a phenomenal job of limiting free bases and competing within the strike zone and making us earn a whole lot of stuff. So, and third baseman made a great. We got a couple bunts down. Third baseman made great plays. He's a player. The McCain boy can play, both of them. So it's tough to do when a team, it's got a third baseman like that, and we execute a couple bunts. It sucks. We got thrown out by half a step a couple times, and it's unfortunate. It maybe changes the game if that doesn't happen. But good players make good plays, and that's what happened there.
On the second half, we'll kind of talk about what you wanted to talk about a little bit and move forward and see how the things look. And I kind of want to be a little lighthearted in the second half too, kind of look at some positives, what some of your favorite memories were, your favorite games and your favorite moments throughout your first season as a head coach too. But that puts a cap on the season. I think, was it 15-12 was your final record throughout the season?
I believe so.
Still a great record overall and a great season by the Chucky Doak Black Knights, but we'll go into hop into the second half, and we'll be right back in just a minute to discuss that here on Grassroots Media.
pizza, pancakes, or donuts. The Davy Crockett Travel Center in Baileyton has the cure for all your cravings. While you're there, shop our general store for souvenirs, gifts, and cellular accessories. In a hurry, grab a cold drink and a hot dog to go. Check us out on Facebook and come to Baileyton.
Hey, I'm Jeremy Roberts with Southland Equipment. No matter how big or how small the job might be,
we've got the right equipment to get the job done.
We have one of the area's largest and best inventory of new Massey Ferguson, Premier, Cub Cadet, and Bush Hog tractors and mowers. Our Will Stock Parts department has everything you need. Belts, blades, hoses, and filters. From 1 horse to 120 horses, we'll take care of you in our service department. Hay equipment, we do that too.
Whether you have 1 acre or 1,000, come by and see us at Southland Equipment.
Welcome back to Grassroots Media. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Sam Meat Market Jacob Willett Show, where we cover everything on the diamond with the Chucky Doak Black Knights baseball team. As always, I'm joined here with head coach Jacob Willett. So, end of the season, unfortunately. We talked about that on the back half with the District 1 2A tournament and how you fared in that. Looking forward, though, I know you wanted to talk about some things also in the second half that we were going to wait on. So, if you want to go ahead and take the floor and discuss those, go ahead. But what's your outlook looking like going forward? How excited are you for the future and what things are looking like going into your second season?
I'm extremely excited about our future. Firstly, we've got a lot of guys returning. I think we got to fill 2 or 3 spots right now. So that leaves you 6 or 7 returners. That started quite a bit for us.
And that's big. You get a lot of experience back.
A lot of experience back, and then you look at the guys we got coming in. Even the guys returning, they're going to have to bust their tail to keep a spot because they're going to be challenged by guys we've got coming in, because we've got some guys coming in hopefully that can play some baseball. And they're going to put us kind of back where we need to be. And that's encouraging. And there's a lot of them. There's a lot of guys that we've got possibly coming in. And you look at the talent we got coming in. We got some of the best players in the area coming in at their grade levels. So it's also encouraging because you see guys that are on the fence about coming. Maybe they see what we got coming. Oh, they've got this guy, this guy, this guy. This is going to be a great place to go play baseball. I'm going to go there too. So we attract a lot of talent because the guys we've got coming. So it's encouraging to see. Hopefully the guys that are on the fence right now about coming, they see what we got, and they see our future and where we're heading, and they buy in while the buying's good, because right now we're on our incline. And if we get a couple guys to step on the train here, we're going to be in a great spot. We're rising, we're climbing, because, like I said, we've got 2 or 3 spots that need filled. 7 guys returning that's given us a lot of experience. A couple guys coming in that can play ball. So, don't know how many we'll get for sure yet. I know we got a potential to get some guys that can really make an impact right away for us. And that's really exciting, especially the type of character and caliber players that we're looking at potentially getting. So that'll be a game changer for us. And if we want to get to the state level and compete year in and year out like we want to do here and win state championships, we need guys like that to come on aboard here and get with the program and get with what we're trying to do and buy in. And then that's going to make the guys here better because they're going to be challenged day in and day out. They got to go compete. So hopefully we're in a good spot next year. Our future's looking really encouraging. I know our middle school's having fantastic success with the baseball program there, and we got some of those guys rolling in. So we're looking bright. We're looking bright.
And I understand a lot of those players, too, that are returning were honored with all-conference awards, all-conference team nominations, and all-tournament nominations, too. I didn't touch on that last week. I know last week we previewed the district tournament, and the district honors had already been announced, but saved it for this week where we could talk about all-conference and all-tournament. So go ahead and discuss those players that were honored as all-conference members, awards recipients, and all-tournament members.
So our biggest award recipient was Christian Derry, who's leaving us. He was our Offensive Player of the Year for the conference. I think he was a plus 500 average with a couple home runs. So obviously that hurts losing that middle half of our lineup. He had a fantastic season. Super proud of him. And then we lost Luke Myers, who was an all-conference. He played everywhere. He's all-conference. He played literally all 9 positions.
I heard.
He played every single position on the field, and he's just a utility guy. We needed him to pitch, he could pitch. We needed him to play second base, he could play second. Catch, left field, he's out there. it's tough to lose a guy like that. Then you look at the guys we got coming back. We got Jake Hinkle, returning first team all conference center fielder, leadoff guy, high speed, great range in the outfield, good barrel control. We look for him to have a huge year next year, a breakout year. He's going to be one of our main pieces, our main building pieces really for next year. Then we return Gavin Crum, who was another first team all conference guy. He was a phenomenal guy out for us on the mound this year. He was up to like 76% strikes on the year, which is phenomenal. And then we got and he's a sophomore. Mm-hmm. So we look for him to make growth, get bigger, get stronger, move faster down the mound. Velo jumps up, it gets the breaking ball a little tighter. His command's phenomenal. So we just add a little more to his stuff, and he'll be really good. Also a really good hitter, good infielder for us. Then we got Lincoln Cutshaw. He's another sophomore that's returning, all-conference player. Our shortstop, our middle of the lineup guy, two hole, I think, all the year. So another big piece to build around. Who was our all-tournament team? We had Lincoln Cutshaw was also all-tournament, and Christian Derry was all-tournament. I think he hit like 740 in the tournament or something crazy with a home run.
What a way to go out.
Yes. And when we look back at it, that's who was at the plate with your tying run on base with 2 outs. So we felt good about it. It don't always happen. It's baseball. But I'm proud of that guy for how he went out and how he played this year. So we've got a lot of guys coming back. Then you look at the guys that played a lot for us that's coming back. We got James Seidel, who had a phenomenal tournament, had a phenomenal back half of the year, hit the ball really well, grew a lot as a player. Got better situationally throughout the year, knew where the baseball needed to go, didn't start that way, but learned a lot, right? And that's where experience plays a key role, because next year he rolls in and he knows how we do things, where we need to be, what we need to be doing. Then we look at left fielder. We had another sophomore, Dom Atchison. He had a phenomenal year for us. He's another guy that was stroking the ball towards the end, worked from the 9-hole to the middle of the order throughout the year because of the growth that he showed at the plate. So really, really looking forward to getting those 2 guys back on the corner outfields. All 3 of our outfielders are back. So, and our outfield, I would dare say our outfield's probably the best around here. Infielders, we got to get a little better. But our outfield, I would say, I think we had the best outfield that maybe we've seen all year with the range that we had out there and the arms that we have out there. So that's encouraging. I think our outfield will be phenomenal next year. Then we've got third baseman Collier will graduate, so that's a position that we'll have to fill. And then you look at the middle school, and then the guys that we got here, we've got some guys that can go compete for it. We've got guys that we trust to go fill it. So we really got to see who steps up and earns that spot. Both of our middle infielders are returning, as I spoke on with Gavin and Lincoln. Both sophomores will be juniors next year. First base, we expect, Ben Palazzo played quite a bit for us there this year, especially when Christian was pitching. Another sophomore, played a lot for us, everyday starter really. So another year of growth for him. Catcher, we had 2 guys that tandemed it a lot with Randall and Brody, and they're both sophomores. So a lot of sophomore in our lineup.
That's true.
A lot of sophomore. Too many. Golly, there's a bunch of them.
It's going to be a big senior class.
It will be a big senior class, but they'll also get a lot of help. Mm-hmm. They'll have a lot of help. With what we got coming, they'll have a lot of help. So that's encouraging for guys that want to come be here and win right away, that maybe think I can come here and play right away and win a lot. It's a very attractive program for a guy to come be a part of right now. So that's the main thing for us is getting some guys in that can play ball.
Seems like you have some fans. I think we've had 3 people honk as they've driven by now.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get to some lighthearted topics. I know towards the end of the year you always like to reflect a little bit. I don't know if you've had the time to kind of reflect yet or if that's something that you'll do in the coming weeks, but I kind of want to talk about some of your favorite things through the year. What were some of your favorite moments throughout the year? That might have been in practice, that might have been in games, might have been outside of the playing field. What were some of your favorite moments that you can remember through the year?
I think probably my favorite moment of the year was a day, was it in the fall? I think it might have been in the fall when we had individual work and it was calling for some rain the day that night. So we got the tarp put on the field, and with no roller, it wasn't very easy to do I wanted to see if we could work the tarp with no roller before we went ahead and bought a roller. Well, that was a rookie mistake on my part because that tarp was heavy and it did not roll very well. And we were out here for probably putting it on wasn't the bad part. Taking it off was the bad part. The next day, it coming downpour, we pulled the tarp, realized it had holes in it, so the field was soaked. And then on top of that, getting that thing rolled was a nightmare. We were probably out here for 2 hours trying to get that tarp up, and we had the middle school guys out here, and we had the high school guys out here.
You had a whole team pulling
barefoot pulling the tarp in the cold, and the guys had a blast. Though that was one of the times that kind of brought us together, I think, as a team. That was fun.
Those moments always stick with you.
Yeah, I felt like an idiot too because I had them out there barefooted rolling that tarp in the cold, but that was one of the better moments throughout the year. Most memorable moment for sure.
That's what the next question was kind of going to be: is favorite memories you've had too. With that kind of parlay into the same thing.
Oh yeah.
Favorite memory.
I think also another big moment that stands out is the win we had against Pigeon Forge.
Yeah.
Where we played a phenomenal baseball game. And
you're doing a great job with these interviews because the next question was going to be favorite game too.
Oh, okay. Well, I can give you a couple of those. West Green, the first 2 times we played them in the regular season when we beat them by a run, both games. That was phenomenal baseball. That was probably the best we played all year. And then let's see, we had. I think one of the more memorable moments was when Happy Valley hit the grand slam on us to tie the game in the 6th, and we come back and put a run up in the 7th. Had bases loaded, no outs in the bottom of the 7th. They had the tying run on 3rd, and Christian came in and struck out the side on 9 pitches. That was a pretty special moment too. Moments like that don't happen often. It takes a special player to come into that situation
Rarely
and get out
ever,
of it.
and I mean rarely ever, do you end the game on an immaculate inning with the bases loaded, 1-run game.
Yep.
Rarely ever. That might be the first time I've actually heard of that too.
That was our first conference game of the year, I believe.
And looking back on it, that's a big win.
Oh yes, it was.
Knowing that you were co-champs, I mean, that's a big win. You don't know those moments when they happen, but you talk about that game and the 2 West Green games, you truly don't know how important they are in hindsight until you look back weeks later whenever the chips kind of fall where they may.
I wish we could have won one more against South Green to avoid West Green, but unfortunately we didn't.
Like I said, that's just how the chips fall, though. Yep. Some games you win and some you don't. But I think the last question I had, too, was what's one thing you'll always remember about this team, too? Maybe their character, maybe their determination, their heart. What's one characteristic that you'll always remember out of this team your first year coaching?
The growth, as far as buying into a culture. The growth that we had here from day one when the guys got here to the last day we had was something special that you don't really see out of a whole lot of teams, because you can show growth. Sure, a lot of teams show growth, but the amount, we had a complete 180 change here with the way we carried ourselves, to the way we handled failure, to the way we held each other accountable. It was a complete 180 turn, which it pushes us so far ahead for our future too, because now our foundation's laid and our expectations are established. So now we don't have to kind of rediscuss these things next year, because now it's expected. Hey, if you strike out on 3 pitches, don't come back here into this dugout and throw your crap down. Put your stuff up and get ready to go back out in the field and make a play. Those things are expected now, because the guys here now know that if you come back here and throw your stuff, you're going to be sitting here. You're not going to be back out in the game. So you can make the decision right now on whether you want to be a part of our team or not, based on how you respond to failure. So our guys made a huge adjustment to that, and at first it was a little rocky for us, because that's a huge adjustment for those guys. But towards the end of the year, they got it, and we didn't have to address those things anymore, which was phenomenal. And I applaud those guys for that and how they were able to change for us. And now they've put our culture in a great spot moving forward, which is really encouraging.
Well, Coach, it's been a pleasure to cover your team this year. I almost said coach your team, but of course I don't coach the team. You coach the team, but it's been a pleasure to cover your team this year. Look forward to next year and look forward to what you have to come, developing these boys and the young team that you have. But I think that's all we have. If there's anything else you'd like to discuss or share one last time, go ahead and do it. But if not, Sand Meat Market, once again, thank you all for sponsoring us. Thank you all for watching throughout the season. And, Coach, once again, thank you for sitting down with me each week and giving you your time.
Thank you
all for watching this week's edition and this year's edition of the Sand Meat Market Jacob Willett Show. Look forward to seeing y'all next year here on Grassroots Media.